The Reebok Nano X5 versus the Adidas Dropset 3 versus the Nike Metcon 10, the battle of the big boys. Four major differences to note between these shoes. Number one, the midsole difference and how the density of the foam in each model is going to feel. So over here in the Reebok Nano X5, we have a Float Ride Energy Foam midsole. We also have a little lift and run chassis system that inserts up here in the forefoot. Now when it comes to lifting, this shoe offers like a fine line between being versatile but then also stable for some heavy strength training. And compared to these three shoes up here, this is going to be one of the softer models regarding its overall ride. In the Adidas Dropset 3, we have a dual density midsole as well, similar to the Nano X5. However, it's a lot more apparent where the stability starts in the heel foam. In the Nike Metcon 10, we have a React foam midsole that runs throughout the entirety of the shoe. You also have a Hyperlift to insert back here in the heel that says TPU plate. It helps add additional stability to the heel of this shoe. The React foam in this shoe is a little bit more pliable than the Nike Metcon 9 if you've ever worn that model, or if you've worn the Adidas Dropset 3, so expect a slightly softer and more responsive ride up here in the forefoot. The second difference to note between these shoes is their heel to toe drops and how that can influence your training. So in the Reebok Nano X5, we have a heel to toe drop of 7 millimeters. In the Dropset 3, we have a heel to toe drop of 6 millimeters. And in the Nike Metcon 10, they haven't disclosed it yet, but it feels a lot like 4 millimeters, which has been every Metcon to date. So if you like a slightly lower profile feel with your shoes, the 4 millimeter drop of the Metcon 10 will likely resonate really well with your knee. The third major difference to note between these shoes is their upper constructions and how that can influence your training. So in the Reebok Nano X5, we have a flex weave upper that runs throughout the forefoot into the midfoot, and then a padded mesh boot and TPU overlays around the boot here. When it comes to breathability, the Nano X5 I would actually put towards the top end of these three shoes. The Dropset 3 has a mesh upper that runs throughout the forefoot and midfoot. This chain link mesh is a little bit more breathable, and then back here in the boot, you have more structure and a padded mesh. Over here in the Nike Metcon 10, we have a mesh upper with haptic overlays. This is similar to the Nike Metcon 9, however, obviously the design elements are different. Then we also have a padded mesh boot back here in the tongue, and then we have this reworked eyelet system here with this middle eyelet being this more aggressive material. It's a little bit more blatant, a little bit more rigid, and gives you a little bit more support for side-to-side movements. The fourth major difference to note between these shoes is their overall fit and just general comfort. In the Metcon 10, we do have a slightly wider forefoot here, but then a pretty aggressive taper through the forefoot. So if you have a blockier foot, you will want to consider that with this shoe, in my opinion. You might feel a little bit cramped up here towards the pinky toe. The Dropset 3 has a fit and feel that's a lot more similar to a weightlifting shoe. So we have this heel that juts out here, which makes it great for lifting. But when it comes to the midfoot support and toe box, it's what I would call like a middle of the road shoe. It should work for 2E foot widths and down. In the Nano X5, you have a fairly aggressive arch here, and you have the narrowest toe box up here. And so that said, if you're somebody who has a medium width foot or an E width foot, and you like some arch support, the Nano X5 can be a really good option for your overall needs.